Hello. I'm over here. Okay, there you go. Hi, my name is UGR Gaming. I am the US Community Manager for XSplit. If this is your first time here, we usually do a weekly show here about, XSplit news, gaming news, and all kinds of stuff. Usually I have somebody else with me here, but this week I'm doing it solo today, so we're kind of going to go through a lot of stuff that's going on in the XSplit world and, Twitch and Mixer and all the stuff, and video game news, which is my favorite stuff. Of course, if you guys are here watching, you're probably liking video games too, so that's good. All right, so we're just going to go right into it. This week is, let's see, it's September going on October. It's kind of crazy already. I'm not ready for it, but we're just gonna go right into it. So let's see. So first off, if you guys already said that AJ's not here, who is my coworker, who's also my co-host, he's not here because he was actually at Tokyo Game Show this past week. But I do have a good clip that I caught last week of him. So I'm gonna see if I can get this together. Where is it? Is this one? Okay, let's see. Now I don't know what they're saying, but I think it's quite funny. So let's check it out. All right. And Twitch. Oh. Let it play for a second.
よくやってるけど大好きなの。何戸惑いすぎだよピーちゃん、もうオーバーウォッチに戻りなさい。はい、ってことでね、で数々のいろんな人たちが配信しておりますので、もし配信してみたいって思ったらここでね、配信することもできますし、もしパートナーラウンジに入ることができなくても配信している風景を見たいという方はガラス張りになっておりますので、外から確認することもできます。はい、ピーちゃんをいじめないであげてください。
じゃあオーバーウォッチ頑張ってください。
はい、じゃあ別のゾーン行ってみますか。
はい、行きましょう。
はい、まだ裏にもあるんですよね。
でもやはり
All right. So, yeah, as you can see, AJ was actually hosting a lot of stuff with Twitch Japan all last week, which is pretty awesome. And he was showing off some stuff with XSplit, which was pretty cool. As you can see on the computers, they had XSplit back there. So AJ goes to Tokyo Game Show, I think, like once a year to kind of do stuff with XSplit and stuff that he does with Twitch. So he'll be back next week. So it was good seeing him on the Twitch stage helping out over there. So that was pretty cool. And also another cool thing is that another one of our my coworkers actually got to visit the XSplit headquarters, which is in the Philippines. His name is Slater. If you guys don't know him, he is the UK manager, community manager for XSplit. So he has a little tweet that I was going to show real quick that he was talking about that it was his first time there. So he's actually been with the company for 2 years, I believe. So it's pretty cool to see that he finally made his way out there. So GG to Slater out there. He's going to be there till Sunday. So he's going to be there for a while. But he's actually going to meet the team and hanging out with them and doing work over there, which is pretty cool. So he's finally gotten out there, and we've been out there before too. So we'll see soon, Slater. Hopefully soon. All right, so to kind of get into some news about what XSplit has going on the next coming weeks, which kind of all involve things that I'm doing. So if you haven't heard, first off, we're going to talk about the charity Scareathon. There, boom. So XSplit is now officially the sponsor of the All Hallows Eve charity Scareathon, which I'm throwing on my channel on twitch.tv/UGR Gaming, this is my name here. So basically, we're gonna have over 30 casters, including myself, that we're gonna be playing a lot of scary games and trying to raise money for One Up on Cancer. So basically, it's going to be running for 3 days straight, and we're going to have lots of casters coming in and out playing different games. I'm really excited about that. And but the premise is the fact that they're going to be able to, if someone donates money or anything, there's going to be like an alert or a pop-up or something that scares the casters. And especially with scary games, people are going to get scared in general anyway. So it's kind of a way to get the chat interacting with the casters as well, to help it make it fun and cool. So this is going to be the second year that I'm going to be doing this event. So if you want to check it out, make sure you just hang out. It's going to be on October 13th through the 15th. It's literally right before TwitchCon. So I'm going to be quite busy getting that done, but it's going to be pretty cool. So that event's going to be happening pretty soon. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really happy that XSplit was able to get involved with that. And actually, they helped out with the graphic work here too. So that's pretty awesome. All right. So there's that. So next up, we have another event that I'm going to be running this week that's actually happening, which is going to be the Twitch Chicago meetup. And let me make sure, is this the right one? Nope, not that one. I don't think I have the picture. I thought I had it. So wait, let me make sure. I think it's this one. No, that's not it. Preview. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to talk about it really briefly. I guess I didn't have it in here like I thought. But the Twitch Chicago meetup will be happening this Friday at Replay Lincoln Park. If you go to chicagocommunitymeetup.splashthat.com, you'll be able to check it out and RSVP there too as well. And plus, if you go to twitter.com/Twitch Chicago, all the information is there as well too, so it's a lot easier. But so far we have a lot of like RSVPs, which is really awesome. We were able to set up this event in like maybe 3 weeks, and so far we have like 264 people registered, so I'm really excited about that. We have some cool XSplit swag to give away. We got a lot of licenses to give out. There's a lot of cool prizes they're going to be giving out as well, including a trip to TwitchCon. So if you're going to be in the Chicago area, make sure you check it out. I'm really excited, and I'm very nervous as well because I really don't know what to expect, because mostly it's going to be me running around with my head cut off and trying to figure out everything, so that's going to be pretty cool. All right, so that's it for the general news. So we're gonna kind of get into some XSplit news now. So we're gonna talk about once again, if you guys don't know, that we're gonna be doing stuff at TwitchCon. We are exhibiting with Devolver Digital. So we're gonna put ourselves right. Oh wait, they moved us. I think. Where is XSplit? XSplit, where is it? I think they moved us. Well, anywho, we're going to be exhibiting with Devolver Digital at TwitchCon. So if you guys are going to be out there, make sure that you guys come out and hang out with us. We're going to be having some cool opportunities for streamers and casters pretty soon. So I'm really excited to see what's going on out there. And plus, we're planning out some new stuff along the way too. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to reach out to one of the community managers of XSplit, including myself. We're going to be trying to build some really cool stuff to make it really fun. And it's going to be broadcasted here on this channel as well. So that's another thing that you should look out for pretty soon coming up. So TwitchCon really is, it's coming October 20th. So we only have a few weeks left. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, make sure you do that, because a lot of events are kind of popping up here and there. So you want to make sure you check your emails too for that. So TwitchCon will be there doing some stuff there. All right. Next, we're going to get into another show that we have here on the XSplit channel, is Beyond the Stream. So this episode's happening pretty soon, which we're going to be talking about XSplit Secrets. Episode 5 is coming up pretty soon, which people from our production team are going to come in and talk about different cool things that are happening on the XSplit end of stuff. And plus, you'll have a chance to win a lifetime license on XSplit. So that's going to be pretty cool. Also, you'll get to win a C922, which I'm actually using that camera right now, the 60 FPS, which is pretty cool. So make sure you tune in. That happens on Thursday, so it's gonna be happening, I think, tomorrow. That's gonna be happening. So make sure you guys check that out. But yeah, we also have all these episodes from behind the stream on YouTube, as well as this show as well. If you miss any of the episodes, our YouTube channel is full of all of them, and you can catch up on really good information if you may have missed out, because I know, with time zones, everybody's all over the place, and it's always good to watch some of these things because we do give some really good tips. So definitely check that out and win free stuff. Who doesn't want to win free stuff? Just saying. All right. So next up is a really cool thing that kind of popped up today, which, if you did not know, we did release XSplit 3.1. So what's up, Eddie Machine? Hi. We released XSplit 3.1 today. So we're gonna go ahead and show you some of the video footage of what's new in there. Some of the stuff is from the PTR, and there's some new stuff that was added in as well. So let's just go right into the video and check it out. We have a little cool guest who's gonna introduce this whole XSplit 3.1. All right, let's go into it.
Hello friends, Chris Light here to give you the lowdown on what's new in XSplit Broadcaster 3.1. We've added support for some of the hottest new hardware devices for streaming, such as the Elgato Stream Deck, Logitech Brio Stream 4K, Ava Media Live Gamer HD 2, and oh no, that's not it, the Ava Media Live Gamer Portable 2. For tutorials on how these devices work, make sure to check our YouTube. We've streamlined managing Stinger transitions by creating their own sub-menu in the Transitions menu. We've even tossed in a few new transitions for scenes and sources. We really do spoil you. We've improved our browser source to support 60 FPS sources. All of your subscriptions, tips, and follower alerts will look better than ever. We've added new features for your favorite streaming services. Add your Facebook reactions, display your Twitch cheers, and broadcast to YouTube in glorious 2160p 60 FPS. Last but not least, we've updated the latest NDI SDK, along with a whole host of tweaks and improvements to give you the best NDI experience possible. Well, that's what's new in XSplit Broadcaster 3.1. For more information, make sure to follow our social media and, as ever, happy streaming, friends.
All right, so XSplit 3.1 came out today, which is pretty dang cool. I'm really excited because I've been using the PTR a lot before this came out, and we just got the word yesterday that was going to come out today. So there's a lot of cool changes in there if you guys have been using 3.0 for a while. And of course, Chris Light is the best person to do a lot of those videos because his voice is awesome. Yeah, I really make sure you guys check it out. All you gotta do, I think, is go to I haven't updated mine yet, but if you just click on your XSplit 3.0, you should be able to get a link that just basically just tells you, hey, it's time to update. Or if not, you can go straight to this link here, which you can download it on our website at xsplit.com, which I'll post in chat just in case you need it. Boom. There's all the new stuff, and it'll tell you about, it has this video on there too as well, and just kind of going over the basic stuff and the highlights of Facebook reactions, which I didn't know that was in there. I think that was done like recently, so that's a whole new thing that I just saw. 60 FPS browser source, I've been using that a lot for my alerts and stuff. Stinger manager, which is pretty cool, and support for the Elgato Stream Deck, which a lot of people were asking about, which was before it was only in the PTR, but now it's officially in 3.1 XSplit. So if you have a Stream Deck like I have right here, I can see if I can pull it out. I don't know if you can see it right there. You can now officially use this for the 3.1 version of XSplit, which is pretty cool. NDI support, which is in there, and supporting on YouTube, 2160p and 60 FPS. I can never do that, so I'm not gonna even worry about that. But people who use YouTube, there you go, we got that for you. And Periscope broadcast plugin, which is pretty cool. So if you guys use Periscope, you can now use that because we have been testing this out for a few of our streams and stuff. And I think that's definitely something we got to broadcast and let people know about a lot more, because that's pretty cool. If you use Periscope, you can stream, like if we're doing this here, be on Periscope too as well. But you love the Stream Deck? Yes, make sure you guys update that. But yeah, if it doesn't automatically pop up, sometimes it takes a little bit, just go ahead to the website. You can download the whole version there. You should be good. But yeah, that's XSplit 3.1. So super exciting. If there's any questions, or if you have like any sort of issues pop up or anything, it's always good to make sure you reach out to us at xsplit.com/support. So our support team can look into it and make sure they get into that and fix those right away, because of course everybody's computer is different. It runs into different issues. So we want to fix as many issues as possible if they do arise. And if there's good stuff that you like in there, then let us know too, so we can make sure we're keeping up with it. All right, cool. So that's it, I think, for XSplit news we got there. So yeah, so we're going to move over to platform news real quick. So we're going to talk about Mixer and some of the new stuff that's coming over there. It's looking like they got some new mobile things coming out, which is pretty cool. So let's see. First up is the FTL beta for the Mixer app, which is the mobile app, which is insane. I can't even believe it's such a thing to do that here on Twitch. We have not done that yet, but hopefully we'll get this soon. But yes, you could sign up for the beta for FTL on mobile. You can check it out right there. You could do it on iOS and Android, which is shocking sometimes, because most of the time Apple does not get that love and Android gets it first, but you could sign up for Apple, which is pretty cool. So you can check it out there, and here's some of the looks of you can see on the Mixer side of things. But that's pretty cool coming out of the Mixer side. And another thing that came out this week, which I was kind of shocked, and I actually was kind of curious about this, because with console streaming and PlayStation 4 being able to stream and Xbox being able to stream, they have their own native like cameras, and I've always wondered, they're used by USB most of the time, so why haven't they ever used like a webcam? Well, now Mixer has now added this, and they're in testing for USB webcams for Xbox One. So that's pretty cool, because of course with the Kinect, like the quality is decent, but like a lot of people want to get the Logitech C920, for example. They may want to use that, or they have that around, they can use that. So now that's going into beta testing, so if you want to check that out, make sure you check out the blog here. But yeah, if you're on Mixer, cool stuff. And that's a definitely game changer for if you're streaming on a console. You can use an actual webcam to make your quality better, which is pretty cool. So yeah, GG on the Mixer side. Nice. All right, so next up, let's see, we're going on to Twitch news. And so there wasn't too much going on Twitch besides, there's a lot of TwitchCon stuff, the party they were talking about that's happening on the Queen Mary. So if you don't know about that, make sure you get on that because it's probably gonna be pretty crowded. But on the Twitch side of stuff, there is National Voter Registration Day. Twitch is doing a really big campaign to try to get people to register today, actually. So if you haven't registered to vote, make sure you check that out. Twitch is using, their platform to try to get people out there to get registered to vote. And of course, this is really important because as we see, it's really good to get your voice out there. So actually, this started yesterday. Did it start yesterday? Yesterday. Well, I'm sorry. Well, starting yesterday, you can go start registering to vote. And Twitch has been doing really cool stuff with different streamers. Like I got a lot of cool friend streamers who are actually a part of this too. So who are actually pushing this on the front page as well. So make sure you go to twitch.tv/Twitch to see some of the stuff that they're talking about with the voting registration and how to get involved. And actually, register yourself if you haven't done so, which I might have registered. But are you? Is the question. But yeah, there you go to register your vote. You can put that in your panels on Twitch if you want to get involved that way as well. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's see what's next. So quickly, I was going to kind of discuss a little bit of stuff of like, streaming and getting involved with like at conventions, like how to go to that next step. Mainly, I was talking about like, how do you go about like, networking? We talk about this all the time with TwitchCon coming up and a lot of different conventions coming up. It's always good to kind of have a plan set of what to do. We kind of talk about this subject a few times, like in our streamer FAQs, but I think it's always good to kind of, re-up on it here because kind of from my personal experience, I know what it's like to kind of talk about it on the opposite side of being like, a content creator trying to talk to, a company about like getting involved with their work, or being on the opposite side of being the company and having people talk to you about how they want to get involved with your work. So I have both ends. It's a little weird, but it's kind of cool at the same time. So, pretty much I would say like we're talking about, say you go to a convention. And like mostly when I go to different conventions, I'm there to do stuff for XSplit and, networking with streamers and also networking with different companies to see how we can, gain partnerships together and work together. So I would usually most of the time, like I kind of announce on social media if I'm going to be at an event or something. And if people want to talk about like, meeting up and doing an appointment to try to see like how someone could work with XSplit, we usually go through that way. That's always the best way to kind of, if you could seek out community managers for different companies, they usually are pretty open about what they're doing at events and where they're going to be at. And if you can set up an appointment, that's always good because, that's that time you get to step aside from the convention and get to talk to someone about, their work or how you can work with them. Which is always the best thing I say for me is, planning a time is always good. Knowing what you want to talk about is good. Making sure that you have an interest in the product is always good because there's always a lot of people, well, not a lot of people. There's been a few times where people don't really know how to approach. So it's always good to make sure that you know how to approach the person, know what they do for the company, because it kind of could be awkward if you don't know. And then you be like, hey, so I hear you do maintenance at your job, and I don't do maintenance. I don't do any of that. That's nothing that I do. But you want to make sure you don't offend the person at that. But I would say like as on the opposite side of talking to someone, as a content creator to a company, it is kind of nerve-wracking to talk to someone about like getting involved with their company because it's mainly a thing where you have to kind of go outside of your bubble where you don't know if that person is going to want to speak to you or if they're going to want to move forward. And I did have a lot of issues when I first started, like when I had my gaming blog and I talked about video games and I wanted to talk to companies about different games and reviews and things. When I went to conventions, I had to go to them to speak to them about trying to do better, try to get, review copies. So I remember I was really nervous and I would try to always kind of make people help me or like encourage me to go because I was always nervous of what someone would say or if they reject me. And sometimes you will get someone who will reject you and kind of leave you, not leave you there, but reject you and will say no. Like not everybody's going to say yes to your request. Or sometimes even after a convention, you reach out to them in email, they will probably reach out. You'll reach out and they probably won't say anything back. You can't take offense to that. You always gotta be mindful that, you know, not every door is going to close, and that, you know, there is someone out there who will listen or who will be interested. So it's always that thought process of trying to make sure that you're being confident in what you create and know what you're creating, and knowing an idea of what brands you want to work with. Always know what the brands you want to work with, and if you align and if you agree with their company, their products and all that stuff. You know, you don't want to be trying to promote something that you don't like. You're just doing it for, I don't know, any sort of reason, for money or just for like promotion. You know, you want to make sure that you like what they have. So that's always good. But yeah, I just wanted to put that quick tip in there because, you know, convention season is starting again. I'm going to be gone next week, so I'm going to be going to New York Comic Con. So this is always a good pointer for me because I'm going to be going there on my own as a content creator. So I'm going to have to remember all my own tips to do this myself. All right. So let's take a look here. So we're going to go right into some gaming news, which there's a lot of stuff that came out this week, like anniversaries and different sorts of like teasers and things. So we're gonna kind of talk about some of the anniversaries that happened this past week in general. So Halo 3 has officially turned 10 years old this past week, which is pretty nuts because it's crazy to me because I remember playing Halo 3 a long time ago when I was younger with my brother. We used to have like LAN parties and stuff, and those type of days I do miss. And I was actually talking about this the other day on my stream, that I wish that I did more of those kinds of things where I, you know, invite people over, we hang out and talk and play video games. Those days don't really happen that much anymore because a lot of stuff is online and a lot of people are busy with their lives. But I kind of want to bring that back and try to do more of that. So that's what my goal is, to try to have more of those LAN parties. But Halo 3 to turn 10 years old, so hopefully that doesn't make you feel old like I do. I'm turning 30 next year, and Halo's turning 10, so that's just, it makes me feel like it's like a little brother I have, turning 10 years old a little bit. So that's kind of funny. Also this week, Silent Hill 2 was released in 2011 yesterday. So that's pretty crazy. I actually talked about this on Player. I can't believe Silent Hill is also this old. Well, it's not the same age as Halo 3, but it's, you know, it's pretty old. 2001. And Silent Hill 2 is one of my favorite scary games, and it's really cool because it did like a totally different take on the first game. And if you haven't had a chance to check it out, like, you know, there's a lot of different ways you could play. You can play on the PS2 if you could get your hands on the retro console or PlayStation 2. They do have a remake, which it's okay, but Silent Hill fans wouldn't suggest you to play that. But if you have no other way of getting it, you can play Silent Hill 2 on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, so that's always a good thing. You can check that out. It's a great game. So, but yeah, that was released in 2001. So yeah, and also Super Mario 64 is celebrating an anniversary as well yesterday. So that's 64 came out a long time ago too. So I just feel so much older than I already did. So that's not good. But yeah, Super Mario 64 came out this week, years ago. So it's really cool that all these games kind of came out at the same time in September. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, next up, the Super Nintendo Classic, if you guys don't know, is coming out this Friday. So the Nintendo is actually doing a little bit better with the retail version of this, and they're actually trying to get it more in stores. So it's actually I think most GameStops are gonna have a few copies of them. So if you're trying to get your hands on it and you couldn't pre-order online, they will be at GameStops and select GameStops, but I think it's mainly most of them. So if it is most of them, that's pretty awesome. But yeah, the Super Nintendo Classic is coming out pretty soon with the unreleased Star Fox 2, which was never released. So that's going to be pretty awesome if you get your hands on that. And I actually was showing this off because I do have, which is luckily funny because it's right here. I do have the Nintendo Classic. So I honestly have to get the Super Nintendo Classic because these things are really small and this is my hand compared to it. So yeah, that's the Nintendo Classic. But the Super Nintendo is coming out on Friday. So if you want to get your hands on that and get the original price before they get out on eBay, it's like super expensive. Make sure you stop by GameStop if you can. Or if you pre-ordered it, that's pretty cool. Check that out there. And next, let's see. We have Red Dead. Well, you know what? Rockstar actually tweeted this out last week. Out of nowhere. Boom. And we can assume, of course, with the background and the setting of it, this is Red Dead related. And as you know, that we had the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer last year, or sometime it was earlier this year. Yeah, it was earlier this year. And, we haven't gotten too much information. We didn't hear too much about it at E3, but now we know that there's something happening tomorrow. We don't know exactly what, but, tomorrow at 11 a.m., there's something coming up, and hopefully next week on the show we'll be able to actually talk about it. But we know a lot of people are waiting for that sequel to Red Dead after playing, Red Dead 1, and which is a great game, and the DLC for it was awesome. So I cannot wait to see what this is, and I'm really excited because Rockstar, we know they're always good with good stuff, and especially with the GTA thing going on as well with this, they got something up their sleeve that's probably gonna be awesome. So I cannot wait for Red Dead. So hopefully it's coming out tomorrow. No, that won't happen. It won't come out tomorrow. It'd be too soon, but we will hear some cool stuff about Red Dead. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more gameplay, because the teaser trailer that we got before, it was kind of short and it wasn't a lot, but hopefully we'll get a lot more than just what we saw before. So there's that. All right. So let's see. Lastly, on the forefront of gaming news, Fortnite, if you didn't know, was kind of in the news last week for a lot of stuff. Mainly one, because they released a battle royale mode to their community, and also it was released on all platforms yesterday, and it was for free. Which is pretty cool. So if you got a PlayStation, an Xbox, or PC, you can now download that for free. And they've had they had 1 million players on launch day, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, Fortnite kind of got in the news the other day because of the fact that, Player Unknown Battlegrounds. I always get that name wrong sometimes because it's so many words. Actually, because they feel that Fortnite kind of, is in the same, kind of doing the same thing that they're doing. So I had played PUB the first time last week, and I see where the addiction is, so it all makes sense. But Fortnite, with them doing this battle mode now, there's a little bit of heat if like it's the same thing, or if they should be trying to change it a little bit. But with that kind of controversy, it's just in video games in general, there's always going to be another company that comes in and kind of does the same thing. So I feel like, H1Z1 did this before PUB came out, so it's not going to be this is not really too shocking, but it's kind of going to be interesting to see where this comes from. But with the fact that Fortnite released this game on, for free for all consoles, I could totally see that the numbers of this, jumping really high. Will they get higher than PUB? I have no idea. We'll see. But, it's pretty interesting to see where this is going, and hopefully they'll release some new updates with it, some new DLC. But I have not played this yet, but I do want to check it out. But I've been really excited about my experience with PUB, and I did have a lot of fun with it. I did get 1 kill, which I was really excited, but that was the most I've done so far. All right, so yeah, I mean, this was a short show, sadly, mainly because I don't have anybody to bounce off of. But yeah, this was a show for today, and I'm gonna actually re-show the XSplit 3.1 trailer real quickly. And then if you guys want to make sure you hit that follow button and follow us on twitter.com/XSplit. We have all our stuff there. But we're gonna go really quickly into the XSplit 3.1 trailer once again. If you're here checking it out, thanks you so much for joining me today. And next week we'll have 2 people here for sure. But yeah, thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you next week. All right, here we go.